Chapter 14. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard the reports about Yeshua. He told his servant, "This is Yohanan the Immerser. He has risen from the dead, and that is why miraculous powers are working through him." When Herod had arrested Yohanan, he put him in chains and locked him up in prison because of Herodias, the wife of his brother Philip. After all, Yohanan had been telling him, "It is against the teaching of Torah for you to have her." Although Herod wanted to put him to death, he feared the people because they regarded Yohanan as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday came, the daughter of Herodias danced for them, and it pleased Herod so much that he promised her with an oath to give her anything she asked. Having been prompted by her mother, she requested, "Give me here the head of Yohanan the Immerser on the platter." Although he was grieved because of the promise he had made in front of his dinner guests, the king gave the order. He sent the executioner and had Yohanan beheaded in prison. Then his head was brought on a platter and presented to the girl. She brought it to her mother. Yohanan's disciples came and took the body away and buried it. They went and reported to Yeshua. Now when Yeshua heard, he withdrew from there, using a boat to go into a secluded place to be alone. But when the people heard about this, they followed him on foot from the towns. When he went to the shore, he saw a large crowd. Inwardly his heart was moved with compassion for them, and he healed their sick. When evening came, the disciples went to him and said, "This region is secluded pasture. The time is already late. Send the crowds away so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves." But Yeshua said to them, "They do not need to go away. You gave them food to eat." But they said to him, "Here we have only 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish." He said, "Bring them over here to me." Making the people to sit down on the grass, he took the 5 loaves of bread and the 2 fish, and lifting his eyes to heaven, he pronounced the blessing over them. Then breaking the loaves of bread, he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples served them to the crowds. They all ate their fill. Moreover, they picked up 12 baskets full of broken pieces which were left over. Those who ate were about 5,000 men, besides all the women and children. Immediately he made the disciples climb on board the boat and sail on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds of people. After he had sent the crowds of people away, he climbed up to the mountain to pray by himself. As it was evening, he was there alone. Meanwhile, the boat was already a long distance from the land, battered harshly by the waves because the wind was blowing against it. During the 4th watch of the night, he went to them walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified and shouted out, "It is an apparition!" So they cried out with terror. But immediately Yeshua spoke to them, saying, "Take courage, it is I, do not be afraid." Kepha said to him, "Lord, if it is you, ask me to come over to you, walking on the water." So he said, "Come." Then Kepha climbed out of the boat and walked on the water. He came towards Yeshua, but experiencing the fierce wind, he became fearful and began to sink. He shouted out, "Lord, save me!" At once Yeshua stretched out his hand and caught hold of him. He said to him, "How little faith you have! Why did you doubt?" When they climbed on board the boat, the wind stopped. Those who were on the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are God's son." When they had crossed over, they landed at Genoso. When the people of that region recognized him, they sent the news into all the surrounding district. They brought to him all who were sick. They implored him that they might just touch the fringe of his garment. As many as touched it were completely cured.